Hi, this is Brad Carlton. We're going to cover the Tiny Terror and the Dark Terror amplifiers and show you how you can get the maximum out of these units. They both have a variable gain structure, EQ, and they have power amp settings that help you further define the tone you're looking for. These two amps have similar layouts. They're actually identical in their layout on the front panel. Their differences are in the gain structure. The Dark Terror has more gain and it can get a real cutting tone. It'll go into saturation much more quickly. Now I'll demonstrate with that amp how you can indeed still get a clean sound. But if you're going for a cleaner sound, you want more of the roots variability where you can go from a slight crunch and various degrees of crunch and just breakup. The Tiny Terror is your amp. Okay, so here we have the wattage setting, and that's on your back end on the power amp setting. So if you have it 15 watts, you're going to get more headroom. You put it on 7 watts, it'll distort a little bit. It also compresses and it changes the tone. So remember that on any setting that you're trying to dial in, experiment with both power range settings. Your master volume, and over here the gain. Now the reason I jumped with those two is they are linked. The more you turn the gain up, the louder the amp's going to get. This is in essence distortion or tube saturation on the front end, on the preamp section. So you'll want to back off on the volume if you're jacking this way up. Use your ears and just balance out whatever you're looking for. Then the tone control simply moves in a clockwise fashion and brings in more highs. Now I'm going to demonstrate first off the tone control. We're getting a clean sound. I'm playing a Warrior guitar, it has Seymour Duncan humbuckers in it. So we're going to set the gain at about 10 o'clock. But the tone I have all the way down. I'm on the bridge pickup. So there's no sparkle. You can hear just an onset of distortion. Now the humbucker obviously puts out more voltage than a single coil. So let's roll the gain back to about 9 o'clock, maybe a hair under that. Raise the master volume just a tiny bit. And go back over here, set the tone around 10 o'clock. So you can see how when I roll this gain back, to get the same output volume, I've got to raise this. As a matter of fact, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the volume here at 1 o'clock. Now, it gets loud real quick when you turn that gain up. So it's a juggling act between those two controls. But I'm going to lower the gain so we have a really clean sound. And we're looking for a sparkly sound. So you can hear how when I strum that A minor chord, it's not breaking up. And then I can get my spark, I can go all the way over to a pretty bright cutting sound. Now obviously, depending upon what pickup selection you're on, that's going to affect where your ideal tone setting is. If I switch over to a notch position where it's shutting off a coil and things like that, here it's not as thick, it's a different sound, so you get different sounds this way, and then you can adjust the gain accordingly. But anyway, what I'd like to do is on this amp, on the Tiny Terror, we're going to talk about just playing against a track with a rhythm guitar part, and we're going to vary the gain. We're going to start off with this rather clean sound. Get the volume at a reasonable point. All right, so. Now that's on both humbuckers, so I've got that kind of, classic rock sound, but there's no breakup taking place. And I'm not hitting it real hard, I'm strumming lightly. So what happens if I turn my gain up just a little bit, back that volume off? You can hear it starts getting that great quasi-distortion sound, just a little bit of a breakup. Let's turn a little more gain up, and it's also quite touch responsive, meaning the harder I pick,